Oh, hey, you guys. I just realized that I just did an entire podcast. Oh my gosh, for the last 20 something minutes. I hope you're still there. That I was not on public. It was set to go public. I was set to be on here, but for some reason, it was set to, I can't remember if it was private or something like that. So even though I was recording and it was showing me like nobody was getting on. I gotta admit, I was feeling a little discouraged. So let's start over. I'm going to do this. The other one is uploading. Oh no, Stacy, hi. I see. She says I am with a narcissist. Kamara, hi. Thank you. How are you? I'm fine. Except for I just realized I spent like 26 minutes what I thought was live streaming, and what happened was I had the setting on private. So sorry, you guys. So for you guys, I'm really late, but I do want to continue. I do want to go ahead and do my normal hour live stream. Obviously, we're starting late, so I'm going to still do an hour of this. I also will have this 26 minutes of me going on and on about some other thing, the topic of the day. But right now, I want to let's see, acknowledge some of these comments already coming on, and that's what I thought was kind of weird. I'm like, that's weird. Nobody's getting on, but okay, I understand. Maybe everybody's kind of busy this morning. But you guys, Stacy, I am going to talk to that comment in a moment. I want you to know I see you. Crystal, hi. Thought maybe you had an emergency or something. I know. I'm so sorry. Here I was. I mean, I think what I said was really helpful, and the stuff that I went over, I really like. So I think I'm going to keep it, but I'm going to also discuss it again on this actual live stream, right? Kamar, did anybody? Let me see. I'm sorry. Why is there an arrow here? I cannot read what you wrote. Did anybody see that R. Kelly interview on CBS? Oh, no. Okay, I saw it come up on my suggested videos at one point, but I did not see it. So I do want to hear your take on it, on that, Kamar, what happened or what was said. If you can let us know, that would be great. You guys, I'm kind of adjusting this. Uh, while you're texting or typing, Kamar, I'm going to address Stacy here. I am with a narcissist, she says. Stacy, what? And you said it's really bad. Can you explain to me a little bit more, like really bad, as in, is this person physically abusive with you? Are you in danger of physical abuse or physical harm? Because I need you to get help right away if that is the case. I need you to start a plan, dear, about how to remove yourself, and you have to do it very quietly and stealthily. You have to start putting away some money, some resources. You have to be able to get put away some cash. Like if there's any way for you to hide cash or put it away somewhere outside of your house, either at a friend's or hidden somewhere that nobody else will find, like at work or something like that, in a drawer that you can lock. If you can, well, anyway, I don't know yet if that's what you mean by really bad. I wanted to make sure that if that is the case, you need to be careful. And also using your real name in this live feed. Be careful, or just not even this live feed, but using your real name when you go on to social media. You can change it to something else. Even right now, I think if you go in and you edit your profile, change your name to something else, and we can talk about it. I don't want you to be able to be traced. Okay, just for your safety. That's what I'm concerned about. Kamar, did anybody, okay, says, reminds me a lot of my ex-narc when I would confer about her lies. Oh, okay, I will watch it because I'm very interested in stuff like that. Because, as you know, I post about real criminals when they're being interviewed, what they act like and how they behave gives you an idea of what to expect, or what It helps you to identify when a real narcissist in your life behaves like they do, when they avoid questions with questions. You say, so did you do this? And they'll say, do you think I did it? Like, what the heck kind of answer is that? Yeah, I think you did it. That's why I'm asking you. you know, I'm sorry. I guess there are times where you don't necessarily think the person did it and you just want to know. But it's like, what does it matter what I think? I'm asking you, right? They will avoid telling the truth if they can. If they don't think they could get away with lying to you bold face, that like you could see right through it, then they think they're being so smooth by avoiding your question, by asking you questions. Well, have you ever done this? Like, what the heck does that mean? Oh, by the way, that happened to me this week. That was part of my crappy. Um, it's so crazy, this conversation I had. I don't think this person's a narcissist, but the tactics they use are very similar to the kinds of tactics narcissists use when they feel like they have no answer. They have you because they know they're wrong. So what they do is they turn the table on you and they ask you, well, did you ever do that? And my answer was, no. And they didn't know what to do with that. So it kind of cut them short, and they thought maybe that will distract me enough for us to get off the topic. Anyway, it didn't work. So I'm wondering, I am interested now, Kamar, to watch that. Okay, you wrote, oh my gosh, let me see. Oh, I'm missing some comments here, you guys, so I'm going to go back a little bit. I am so sorry that I missed you. I was kind of wondering, like, oh, that's so weird. Nobody's getting on. So I had this whole lesson, which I guess, I'm going to keep up because I think the lesson is really important. And for this, we're going to just simply do our back and forth and discuss what's on your mind. So if we don't get to the lesson, that's fine because the lesson is already recorded and I think it's probably downloaded and uploaded. Okay, here we go. Kamar says, oh wait, dark and lovely Fern. Love that. Hello, new sub. Glad to have you. I'm so happy to see you. Oh, and Crystal says, so much narc stuff everywhere in the mainstream, right? Oh my gosh, yes it is. Like it's already a narc world, but it's all coming to the forefront all at once, it seems. I know, because narcissists are feeling empowered. They're feeling empowered right now. They think that they have support because of other narcissists out there saying a whole lot of crazy crap, right? Oh my gosh. And even people, okay, I hate to call them flying monkeys, or maybe fan clubs, right? And the flying monkeys and the fan clubs are not necessarily evil people. They are simply people who are caught up, or a lot of them are simply people who are caught up in the deceit. They believe in the narcissist. They've had good interaction with the narcissist. The narcissist has actually been good to them. So they support the narcissist. They stand by the narcissist. So that's why I think a lot more narcissists are coming out because they feel empowered. They think they have all this backing. They think they're not the crazy one because if I'm the crazy one, why would all these people believe in me? Well, because you have them deceived. Obviously, there's a scripture that's even, I can't remember how it goes. I'm so bad. I should really be reading more often. But it says something like even evil people or even bad people have friends, are good to their friends, right? So even bad people are good to their friends. So what Christ is calling us to do is us being good to our friends doesn't make us any better. But us being good to bad people, that sets us apart. That makes us more like Christ. So that's what I wanted to point out to you. But what happens with narcissists is obviously they have friends. They're good to their flying monkeys, at least for a time, right? And they may actually be good to some people their entire life because those people are good supply, or those people, just believe them so much and will always be in their corner. So, why bite somebody who is supporting you, right? Who's willing to go to battle for you and stand against everybody else for you. So they're actually good to those people. They're good to their friends. And so all these narcissists are coming out because they have friends, they have money, they have power, they have influence. And those friends, some of the flying monkeys do stick around because they know they get something out of it. So not all of it's because they're friends and they're loyal, but because they get something out of it. And so, of course, they're going to be back there cheering the narcissist on. Oh, you're the best, and everybody else is wrong, and you didn't do anything wrong. And so they feel empowered to come out. And they think that, well, if I fool these people, I can fool everybody else. So they actually will represent themselves in court, right? These are the fools that represent themselves in court or want to represent themselves until their lawyers are like, no, this is going to destroy your case. And anyway, yeah, they think that they're so good at deceiving because they have a fan club, they have flying monkeys, that they think, who can resist me? Everybody is under my spell. I'm so intelligent, or I'm so such a genius that nobody can see the lies because I believe the lies. If I believe the lies, they're going to believe the lies. Anyway, it's just out of control. Well, you guys, there have been a lot of comments here. I want to go back. Sorry, I just kind of got off on that, Kamar, didn't I? Okay, you wrote the part when he cried and got in a rage over a question. I swear it brought me back to a place where I was. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have got to watch that. I'm going to watch it after our happy crappy hour, you guys. But yes, that's what they do. They fly into a rage because they want to control. They want to not just control. They're distracting from the question by flying into a rage. Or they get so indignant. They're like, I can't believe you would, say that. Or so they're turning, even though they're guilty, and you caught them, they turn it back to you. You're the bad guy. I have to attack you now. And that way, you're not going to be able to catch me in my lie or catch me, period. Crystal says, hi, Dark and Lovely. Welcome. Oh, that's very nice. Kamara says, 5 months ago. Oh, what's 5 months ago? Is this the CBS thing? Interview from 5 months ago? Oh no, your narc from 5 months ago. Oh my gosh, yes. And it'll be sort of like oh my gosh. When you see it though, did you not go, oh my gosh, that's what I was dealing with? When you can see it in somebody else's interactions, you're not a part of that. It has no emotional tie to you. You're not triggered or whatever by them, by this R. Kelly, right? Because you don't have any interaction or any relationship with him. When you see that on somebody else, you're just like, wow. You can see so much more clearly now what things were like for you. And then when that comes to light, it makes you, I think, a little more grateful to be away from that. It makes you think, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that now I see I would still be stuck there. I'd still be stuck with this crazy person and their crazy thinking. So Dark and Lovely says, I'm in the process of getting a divorce, but my narc husband is putting me in debt and gaslighting. I'm an emotional wreck. Oh, yeah, okay. If you're in the process of getting a divorce, document everything. Document the gaslighting. Get yourself a notebook. Get yourself, type it in. I don't know if you should put it in your iPad, have an electronic trail or anything. But get yourself a notebook and start writing down dates, like a journal, like you would a journal. And receipts, if you can print out receipts of him buying stuff or getting, like you said, he's trying to get you in debt, putting you in debt, then get receipts, print out receipts, go online to or take a picture of the receipts if he's got any receipts or bills, right, that are coming on your credit card. Take pictures of that, get copies of that, put it in your journal, put it in a file that you're going to keep as you're documenting. And the reason for that is it's possible that once it goes to court or divorce court or whatever the process is you're going to go through, you may be able to be reimbursed for his spending. It's a possibility. So I would protect myself doing that, Dark and Lovely. Also, the gaslighting, write that down. Write the crap that he's saying to you. that you did, that he did, that he's accusing you of, that um, he says, whatever it is, just describe it as much in detail, okay, in your journal, because you will be able to bring that to the divorce negotiations or whatever it comes to. And it's possible that if you have all this, you'll be able to win the judge over. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know that, Dark and Lovely. Do that for yourself. And I'm very sorry. I understand you being an emotional wreck. I will be praying for you, dear. I'm going to be, you're going to be one of my number one people I'm praying for right now. Okay, you will be able to get some peace in the midst of this storm. You will get peace. Try to get rest if you can so that you can do battle. But also understand that, there are going to be things that are out of your hands. There will be things out of your hands that you cannot affect. And for you to worry and fret and get more tied up and anxious about it, it's not going to help. You have to let even that go. It's hard, but once you say, you know what, I can't do anything about this. Whatever that part is in what's going on now, you can document, you can save receipts, you can describe what's going on, and make sure you keep that journal, all right, away from where he can find it. Okay, you may have to, find a place where he will never look. But and if it's a small, keep it small, write it, anyway, you can control that part. But the parts that you cannot control, you got to just give it up. If you believe in God, give it to God. If you don't believe in God, give it up to the universe, or just lay it down and realize, by worrying and by getting extremely anxious, it's not going to help anything. But know that there are others who've gone through what you're going through, and they made it. They made it. And you're going to make it too. I want to let you know that. XXX Outlaw. A lot of music seems like narc-related hurtful crap. Wow. You know what? It's funny because I don't listen to a lot of secular music. I don't know. I kind of like peace and quiet. So even driving, I don't listen to music all that much, but I sometimes listen to Christian radio. And if you want to get away from the narcissist stuff, it's really good to listen to Christian music. And it's not all, if you're atheist or you don't believe in God, it's not as invasive as you might think. A lot of it is about healing, self-healing, and love that's drawn to you. It's about the love of God, a lot of Christian music, for you. But the words are such that you can imagine it's somebody else loving you if you don't believe in God, that is. I want you to understand that there are people who love you, and I believe there is a God that loves you, even if you don't. But it's very healing type music, and it keeps you away from that crazy narcissistic. And a lot of it is not just narcissistic. A lot of it is, and it sells. That's why a lot of it is about desires, right? Sexual desires and fulfilling those sexual desires, which then makes you miss your narcissist more. So that's not helpful. That's, if you have to get away from that music, get away from it. Turn it off. Crystal Jean says, Dark and Lovely, it's so confusing and draining. I'm going through it too. Just hang in there. You're more resilient than you know. Yes, I agree. Just be easy on yourself. Be glad you're getting out and are aware. Yes, thank you so much, Crystal Jean, and good to see you. I agree with that, Dark and Lovely. I hope you hear that. You are more resilient than you know. And don't be hard on yourself. I know part of the going crazy and the emotional turmoil right now is also you blame yourself, or you feel embarrassed, or you're ashamed of some of the things you might have done with the narcissist or to the narcissist. You may have some regret. You know what? Right now is not the time to deal with that regret, not the time to deal with that shame. Just put it away. It'll still be there for you to work through with a therapist at some point. Trust me, it'll be there. Right now, while you're feeling down, this is not the time to start attacking yourself. This is the time to start trying to think clearly. So when those negative thoughts about you come in, because the narcissist has told you all these horrible things about you and you believe it, how worthless, the narcissist will say how worthless we are. Don't believe it. Just don't believe it. Move on from that, okay? Block out those lies. Crystal says, XXX, totally agree. I don't listen to any secular music anymore for that reason. Yep. Kathy says, hi, Kathy. Good morning, everyone. So glad to see you. I don't know if you guys know this, but I was what I thought was live streaming, but unfortunately, I was not making it public, so it wasn't live streaming, even though it kept saying it was live, like I was live recording, I guess. So you guys, so glad to see you. So happy to hear everybody here. Dark and lovely. Yes, it is, but this is my third court date next week. I pray the judge rules in my favor. 13 years of trauma. Yes. I hope that even at this point, write it down. If it's next week, your third court date, start writing down the things that you remember, and especially the things that are happening right now. If you're able to, if he's sending you text messages, if he's being rude, if he's being mean, whatever it is, write it down. Write down the date, the time, the place, and write down what happened. Some judges may not look at that, but some might, and hopefully if you have counsel, if you have an attorney, show it to your attorney, see what they say. Kamar says, GM Kathy. I'm not quite sure what GM means. You'll have to tell me. Crystal says, exactly, Escape from Crazytown. They support them. Then the narc gets all puffed up with the compliments and advice of people who don't even know the truth. Yes, that's true, right? Because their fan club and their flying monkeys lie to them. Tell them how wonderful they are. Tell them what they did was not wrong. They totally deceive the narcissist, and the narcissist gets to stay in that crazy fantasy world, right? Crazytown. Gamer Christina, hi, good to see you. I'm so glad you guys are coming on. I was like, wow, where are my usual people? I don't know. I feel so bad not to see you guys, and it was kind of sad. Like I miss you guys through the week, and I look forward to seeing you. So I'm so glad to see you. Kathy says, hi, Crystal. Hi, Kamar. Stacy, I really used to be afraid he would leave me, but now I know. Now he would do it to the next one, and I don't want someone like him. Yes, Stacy. Yes. I hope you do understand that. We all, that's why people stay. People stay because, or not just stay, I'm sorry. People put up with a lot of things from the narcissist. A lot of abuse, a lot of mistreatment. They even allow the narcissist to cheat on them if they think that will help the narcissist stay. Like we lower our standards so much because we're afraid they're going to leave. And someone said something like, if you have to fight to keep somebody, to make somebody stay, then they're not worth keeping. So don't fight to make them stay. You've got to let them go. But you're right. He will do it to the next person and the next person and the next person. Crystal says, I'm having a difficult time. My 13-year-old is going to be having therapy with his narc father. Oh boy. I'm nervous because he lies and twists everything to therapists. My son might not be able to decipher. To decipher that in therapy. My kids haven't spoken to him in over a year. Oh, golly, Crystal. You know what? I don't normally advise people to share with their kids the bad stuff that has happened in your marriage, or to put down the other parent, because the child's identity comes from both of the parents, right? So one parent is telling you that the other parent is evil, then you start to feel like, well, half of me must be evil too because I come from that person. I don't normally recommend that, but there comes a time where you also have to, you know what? I would suggest that you talk to a family counselor yourself and see what you can do on your side. Because hopefully your narcissistic ex won't turn your child against you. That's why it's so important for you to be positive and to not behave the way the narcissist is going to say that you are. Like if your husband, your ex, is going to tell your son that, I'm sorry, did you say son? I don't know. His father, yeah. So if your ex is going to tell your son that mom's the reason, mom's the problem, mom is evil, hopefully if you've been calm and not been irrational, not just irrational, but like volatile and angry, and there are times that we're going to have that, okay? So don't blame yourself because raising kids is hard, all right? Just apologize. Let your son know that you love him no matter what, and that you will be here to help with whatever he needs. And even with a narcissistic father, with the right boundaries, he can have a pretty decent relationship with the father. I know it sounds like, no, that's impossible. But with the right boundaries, and that's why I say talk to another family therapist to see what you can do to prepare your son, or what you can do to kind of give a little structure to before your son goes into therapy. I'm sorry, let me see. When you said they haven't spoken to him in over a year. I'm having okay. Is going to be having therapy with his narc father. Yeah. Hopefully the therapist will try to not allow your ex to bash you. Like, that's not helpful in therapy. Hopefully that therapist is not, unfortunately, is not a bad therapist, right? Hopefully that therapist understands, like, I'm here to help them rebuild a connection and to set healthy boundaries on both sides, right? Healthy boundary for the narc dad, healthy boundary for the child. So if you need to, you might want to, you know what? Get him reading the Boundaries book from Henry Hazlitt. Because in there, and Beyond Boundaries is really good for people healing, because it talks about now, what do you do when you've been so injured that you don't want to go into another relationship? Well, what you do is you set up healthy boundaries before you go into a healthy relationship, right? So that you make it a healthy relationship and you keep it healthy. So that's what you do. That's the Beyond Boundaries book. But Henry Hazlitt has several. He has a whole series. He even has Boundaries with Teenagers. I did not read that one. I do recommend it on my website. So if you guys buy any of these books from Amazon, do me a favor and buy it through my website. You won't be paying any extra for it or anything. It's just that if you click through my affiliation link that I have on there, and I have, I think it's under shop in the menu on my website. You go into there, and it's the books that I recommend. So if you buy it through there, it'll take you straight to Amazon. Click on it, it takes you straight to Amazon where that book is. And then I get a little bit of an affiliation fee from Amazon for recommending it. So anyway, you guys, that would be wonderful, and I would appreciate that. So Kathy, I hope, oh no, that's Kathy. Kathy made a face for Crystal because of what, her child is going to be going through therapy. So Crystal, I hope that helps a little bit. Dark and Lovely says, thank you so much. I'm praying for strength and documenting everything. Yes, keep doing that. Kathy says, I feel what you're saying. When backed into a corner, tell Jesus on him. Oh, yeah. K. Dot, hi. Oh, good. Excellent. So glad. I just changed my name. Good job. Okay. Kathy says, the Chris Watts audio is going on right now. Ooh. Wait, what do you mean? Like on not on my feed, right? Okay. Yeah, so much on Chris Watts. It's, I actually watched a YouTuber who, wait, is it a YouTuber? Can't remember who it was. Because I Googled it. I wanted to see what's going on with Chris Watts in prison. And oh my gosh, some crazy crap going on in prison with him. Where some people are actually interacting with him, the cellmate right next to him. So I read this article about the cellmate who was right next to Chris Watts. And apparently he gave some interview to a YouTuber or somebody, I don't know. But his information came out and he's like, yeah, we can't stand this guy. We hate him and all this, right? But then he goes on to say, but you know what? I talked to the guy and he seemed to be a pretty decent person. You know, he doesn't say decent. He says something like kind of an okay guy, you know, where he keeps to himself and sometimes we hear him cry a little bit, but not, we don't hear any, you know, very much emotion coming from him. So he also says, I don't see that he has any remorse for what he did. You know, I don't know. These are just the people who are in jail with him talking about him. I think that's kind of interesting, you know, what their take is on him. But sorry, it's not nothing to laugh about, and I don't mean to take it lightly or anything. But I just, you know, when you read what the inmates are saying about him, they take it kind of lightly because they're all in the same situation. You know, they're all there for life, and this is their world. This is how they're going to live, and they've learned to acclimate to it, where they can still laugh sometimes. You know, where they can still be human with each other sometimes and have a relationship. But it's very interesting. It's very a different way of living. It's living in captivity, you know. So it's very limited. The whole Chris Watts thing, I know, it's just crazy. Gamer Christina says, when I was with my ex, I always thought that I needed to do everything perfectly because if or when we broke up, he would find someone better. So I tried to be perfect so he'd always love me. Absolutely. That's what we do. And you know what? And that's what hurts the most because you're like, I did everything. I did everything they wanted, even when I didn't want to. Even, I'm not saying that you did this, but I know people who did things sexually that they did not ever want to do with anybody, and yet they did it for the narcissist because they wanted to keep them. And afterwards, they were so ashamed, you know, that they were degraded in that way sexually in order to keep their narcissistic ex. And that is what's so painful because and it's painful because then you feel ashamed. You feel like, you know, you start attacking yourself. You start being angry at yourself. And I don't want people to be angry at themselves. Look, you were a casualty of that war. Don't be angry at yourself. Don't repeat it. You know, you want to learn from it, but don't be ashamed anymore. It's not for you to carry that shame around for the rest of your life. Like, don't be proud, obviously, that you did whatever you did, but don't be ashamed. Like, learn from it. And then you can move on, all right? And teach others that you see doing this. And that's how we grow, and that's how we bring good things into this world, is by helping other people who are going through the same thing, right? And helping them, hopefully, from continuing to do the bad things. Crystal says, wait, hold on, you guys. There are other comments. Okay, Crystal says, there's amazing Christian music for King and Country. Oh my gosh, I saw King and Country live. Oh, I would so recommend that. If you guys, and Toby Mac, I think I'm going to see Toby Mac soon. I can't remember. I think I've seen Newsboys, Matthew West. I've not seen Jordan Feliz or Ryan Stevenson. But oh my gosh, one of my favorites was King and Country because they are so energetic and the drums are amazing. Newsboys also always so much fun on the stage. They're very charismatic. They're very entertaining. Their show is fun, so much fun. I just want to let you guys know. So if you can go to a Christian concert, even if you're, not familiar with Christian music, and I was not. I am so late into the music game that I'm constantly forgetting who's who. So forgive me for that. But I do remember King and Country, Toby Mac, and Newsboys. And I know, and Matthew West, yeah. So Kathy says, oh, Gamer Christina, I went through the same. It wears you out trying. I was always cleaning, cooking. Yep. Crystal Jean says, hi, Gamer Christina. Gamer Christina says, thank you. Crystal Jean says, me too, Christina. All my energy was being used up just trying to please him. Nothing will ever be enough. Nothing. I want to tell you guys something I heard recently, which I thought was really insightful. It was going from victim to volunteer. And this person was talking about toxic relationships. And he said that there's a point where you go from the victim to a volunteer. The longer you stay, you become a volunteer. And I think that's why we get so mad at ourselves. And that's why we feel shame or we feel angry at ourselves, is because we realize that we held on, we volunteered for this, right? We actually volunteered our time, our effort, the cooking, the cleaning, the driving, the paying their debts, paying their bills. We volunteer that, thinking that that will keep them, or that will stop them from leaving. And so that's okay, you guys, that we're still a victim. But I think what this person was trying to say is not like, oh, shame on you, you were a volunteer. It was more that, wake up, you're the volunteer, you can leave. You're not this helpless victim who can't make another choice, who can't let go, right? When you're a volunteer, you can stop at any point. I love it. Oh, by the way, I've done some volunteer work, and it's true. Even where I volunteer now, people who work there are like, well, some of their volunteers don't do a great job, but what can they do? They're not paying these people. But on the volunteer side, you kind of feel like, you know what, I'm volunteering. So, I'm not obligated to stay. I'm not obligated to take on abuse or more than I'm willing. Like, this is how much I'm willing to give of my time. So you do that, and then you go, well, now I'm done. I get to leave. While the people who are hired or working there, they have to stay till the end of the day. But there are some obligations, obviously, with volunteering. When you say you're going to be somewhere for a certain number of hours, do that. I don't want you to be flaky on responsibilities. But as a volunteer, you don't ever have to go back after that. Like, okay, I told them I'd help out for 3 hours. I helped out for 3 hours. They want me to come back next week? No, I don't think so. I don't want to. So you don't have to. Same thing in a relationship. When you become the volunteer, when you're the one who's working so hard to try to keep it going, you can stop at any point. And there's no shame in that. And in fact, it's saving you when you stop. So you guys, I just wanted to share that bit with you. I thought it was pretty insightful. Let me see. I'm going to catch you guys up. Miseducated. Good to see you. Welcome and good morning. Gamer Christina says, and when we divorced after 7 years, my ex found someone, quote unquote, better. Only 4 days later, oh my gosh, and he just got engaged to her last month. Of course. They're in the honeymoon infatuation stage, and the way he treated you will be the way he will treat her. It just doesn't change. It really just doesn't. The things that might change would be how she reacts to him, because she's different from you, right? Either she might be weaker than you, in which case he's going to be even worse to her. Or she might be, she might, I don't want to say healthy-minded, but she might have more more boundaries that she holds to, in which case he's going to get tired of that and leave her. So anyway, it's just, but he's going to try his tactics no matter what, either way. So I'm sorry to hear that, though, Gamer Christina, because it sucks. It really sucks, because it makes you doubt yourself. Like, oh, must have been me if he was able to find someone 4 days later. That 4 days later crap, you know what? It's either one, they already had that person in the wings before they left you, so they were cheating with that person. Or two, and that person, sorry, this is not the two part, and that person knew that they were cheating on you. So that person is a pretty crappy person to be cheating, right? With a married person. But, or two, they did just run into this person, and they are such a narcissist that they cannot be alone. So they're going to attach to the very first person they run into, or the very first person that they can capture. And that can happen within 4 days, right? And so they pour on the love bombing. They just, it's like that rebound. I've heard about rebound relationships. And I think that's what a lot of times, or not just a lot of times, but rebound relationships are bad. They just really are, because you're not yourself. You're not healed. You're not bringing into the relationship your whole self. You're still hung up on what happened behind you. You just left, So it could be a rebound relationship that's just moving very fast, because this is a narcissist and they move very fast. So I'm really sorry, though, that you went through that. I want to tell you right now, don't doubt yourself. I'm not doubting you, so don't do it. Don't think, oh, there's something wrong with you. That if there were things that were wrong that you did in a relationship, learn from it, fix it. You're good. But the reason that they are the way they are, the narcissist, it's not because of you. Crystal Jean says, thanks. Don't call me that. You call me Escape. Thanks, Escape from Crazytown. I've been preparing him for what it might look like. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. You're talking about your son. So good job. Good job for doing that. But you know what? Let him know. I think that it is possible for narcissists to love. I'm not saying like the way we do, okay? Unconditionally, all right? But they do care somewhat about other people, and they want, this is the weird thing. I do have a couple of narcissists in my life who actually want to do good things for the people they care about, okay? They do. And so that's what I'm hoping for your husband, is that he wants to do the right thing for his son. He wants to have relationship. Narcissists need relationship. Now, we got to prepare those going into a relationship with a narcissist how not to allow it to get abusive, right? But narcissists, if you keep up these boundaries, you can actually have, I'm not saying like the best relationship with them, but you can have a relationship with them. I have a relationship with one of the narcissists in my life. And by the way, it is not horrible because I have very stiff boundaries. There's no trying to make me feel guilty about anything, or, they love to do the guilt trip stuff. Not that, like, if I do something that I should take responsibility for, I will. That's not a problem. But their kind of guilt trip is, you made me feel bad. It's like, no, I didn't do anything to make you feel bad. Like, and they try to manipulate you with guilt. That type of guilt, no, you don't take it. So this person doesn't do that with me anymore. This person does not put me down anymore. They know, in fact, this person likes to be around me. It's like, wow, okay. They look forward to hanging out with me. They look forward to spending time with me. And, I don't necessarily look forward to it, but I care about this person. They're family members who you care about, because we're not narcissists. We don't just cut them out. We don't just, not love them anymore. We actually have unconditional love. So this is, I spend time with this person because I know that it's good for them. I know that I'm a good influence. I know that I bring joy to this person. So I want to do that. Do I want to spend a ton of time with them? No, not really. But sometime I think it's good, And actually, it's been kind of good for me too. It's sort of like still a progressing relationship, in that it's evolving. Even though we've been together for decades, it's evolving still, where I'm thinking, maybe I do love this person. I think I do. I care that much about that person. I might even miss this person, when they pass away. And I'm thinking, wow, okay. And it's okay to do that, where things were so horrible for a while there. I've grown away from it. It doesn't hurt me anymore. There's no emotional entanglement anymore, but there's a healthy love that I can feel for this person now. I have my boundaries. I can't trust them with anything. Like, I don't tell them anything at all that's going on in my life, ever. Good, bad, promotions, nothing. I don't tell them anything. But we talk about, how are you doing? Are you doing, what's up, what's up and coming in your life, and, stuff like that. Anyway, I just want to let you guys know, Kathy, I'm sorry, Crystal, that hopefully your son can have a good relationship, in that he can have some good memories with his dad. Hopefully they are able to have somewhat of a relationship, excuse me, where his dad will want to do things for him, maybe want to pay for college for him, maybe want to, treat him to a trip or something, a vacation, maybe want to buy him something that, maybe contribute to a car when he's old enough, Maybe his dad will love him in those materialistic ways. And by the way, that's how narcissists love. They love in materialistic ways. But that's all they can do. Like, that's what they can give. And your son doesn't necessarily have to think like, oh, that's what love is. Material stuff is love. But that's how his dad might show love to him. And, I'm hoping for the best. I really am. Kathy says, I have an app. It's a preacher, Dr. Charles Stanley. I love Dr. Charles Stanley. Okay. It has a 24-hour radio on. It's so good to listen to. Oh, that's cool. I have not listened to Charles Stanley in a long time. I should go back to listening. There's some other ones too. Francis Chan, he's a really cool one to listen to. Michael Todd, he's also a really cool one to listen to. He's a really young pastor, and he did a series on, let me see if I can remember, on release. So if you guys can do that, if you want to listen to a sermon series that he started, I think it was in January. He started this 4-part series called Release, and I highly recommend it. It's really awesome. It's on YouTube, and I think they're like an hour and a half each, maybe something like that, maybe an hour. But it's Michael Todd, and I'm trying to remember what the name of his church is. If I remember, I will let you know. So, I'm sorry, let me see what else we have here. Kathy says, okay. I always say he's my earthly father, Charles Stanley. Beth Moore, yeah, she's also very encouraging, and her studies are good. Crystal says, there's a Dr. Phil episode from a few days ago that reveals the true version of events. As we know with narcs, their truth is never the full truth. Oh, are you talking about Chris Watts, or I'm not quite sure which version of events? Or was it simply about true version where, finding the truth? I'm not sure, Crystal, what you were referring to with that Dr. Phil episode. I wouldn't mind taking a look at it. Kathy says, today, Chris Watts' actual talking audio. I don't know if I can stand to listen to it. Oh, I know. I don't know. It's very hard for me to listen to that too. So they are talking about Chris Watts. Chuck Swindoll, another good one. I do like him too. He has sermons on your local Christian radio station. Okay, you guys, I'm really far back behind on some of these. I'm just kind of trying to catch up, you guys. So let me see the ones that I missed. Kathy says to gamer Christina, girl, that new woman is not better than you. It's an illusion. You know he won't change, not even for her. Time will show his colors. Waiting is the hard part. Yep, it is. And sometimes not looking. It really is, Okay, you guys, I want to talk about happy crappies because we didn't really. I did mention it in my other video, some happy and some crappy, but I thought of another crappy that happened this week, which was I was very tempted to check on one of the ex-narcissists in my life, or, that was in my life. And I just wanted to see, like, oh, are things falling apart? Like I assumed they were gonna fall apart, but I didn't listen. I didn't look. But I'll tell you what, I entertained the idea that things were going great. Things were, like better than great for this person. I was imagining like the best scenario possible for this person. And at first, I felt like, like a stab in the heart. And, like, what? They don't deserve that. But here's the deal. Then I backed off. And here's my happy, I guess, from that crappy. I backed off and I was like, look, what do I really want for this person? Do I want the worst for this person, or do I want the best for this person? Even though it's a narcissistic ex um, that treated me so badly, this person just stabbed me in the back multiple times. I had no idea over a period of many years. And when I saw the mask come off, I finally saw the mask come off of this person. I was kind of in shock. I was like, what? How? What? I thought this was a very, very close person to me. I thought that this person had my back. I thought that this person cared about me. And come to find out, you know what? I was had. That's all right. You know what? And this person still is deceiving other people, and the other people think this person's wonderful. That's fine. Do I really want the worst for this person? And I realized, no, I don't. I don't want the worst for this person. Do I have moments where I hate this person? Yeah. Yes, I do. Even this week, that was part of my crappy, was I actually hated this person. I was like, I hate you. And I thought, okay, I got it out. At least because our feelings are real. I hate what she did. I hate what happened to us. I hate what this person did to me. And yeah, I hated that person for a moment. And then I was like, okay, now I can release that. I'm going to let that go. I don't want to hate this person. I want to wish this person the best. I hope that things are going well for this person. That's when, weirdly enough, reality started setting in for me. When I started wishing good things on this person, reality started flowing over me, like images of, but you know what this person's life is. I'm like, oh yeah, this is true. Oh, the trauma this person has caused these other people. I'm like, oh yeah, that's true. You know that this person is living in a fantasy world. Oh yeah, this is true. So yeah, I don't wish this person the worst in the world. I do wish this person the best in the world that can happen for them. And when the truth started coming over me, I felt peace. So that was my happy, you guys. Anyway, happy and crappies. That's what happened to me this week as far as the ex-narcissist in my life, or at least one of them. Just wanted to let you know. You guys, let me go back and see what else is happening here. Gospel bluegrass, nice. Alison Krauss, love Alison Krauss. I think she does do gospel, but I fell in love with her before I became a Christian and thought she just has this beautiful voice. Anyway, Crystal Jean says, exactly, Kathy, so true. As difficult as that is, they move on so quickly. Actually, they are usually dating during the relationship, so no big change for them. We're just aware now. It's true. Let's see, James and Betty Robinson used to have Beth on their program, Wednesday with Beth. Probably Beth Moore, you're saying? You can find her program on YouTube. Yeah, she's a great person to start with if you're learning about the Bible and wanting to get into Bible studies, finding out what God says about certain things. Yeah, she's really great for that. Crystal Jean says, apparently narcs go through a reckless phase after breakups. Yes, they do. Totally reckless. That's why the rebound person for the narcissist is in for a crazy world of hurt, because the narcissist wants to run away from everything that they're ashamed of, all the negativity that they just created behind them. They want to run away from that and not deal with it in a healthy way, not make any changes, not learn from any of it. They want to go forward and pretend like it's that big giant wound is not there. And that wound is coming and it's going to envelop them and the new supply at some point. So that's why um, I don't wish the new supply badly because I know it's coming. It's just horrible. Crystal says, yeah, I knew too. The first time 13 years ago. It was different this time around. I went through crazy detective mode for some time. All a normal part of CPTSD. But that's over. You only need to know. Yeah. Oh, you only need to know so much. I don't need any more proof, and digging causes more pain, so why do it? Yes. Kathy says, after being away from the narc for 2.5 years, I realized how boring they were. Seriously. Oh my gosh, Kathy, this is so true. Yes. I look back too, and I'm just like, wow, yeah, they're not funny people. I don't remember times where I had a lot of fun with any of the narcissists in my life. Any of them. I look at them and I'm like, wow, were we even friends? I was like, oh my gosh. Anyway, no, they're not fun at all. I can't tell you how blessed I am right now to have people in my life that I enjoy being around with. Oh my gosh, we connect heart. These are my friendships. We connect. Um, we connect even with humor. I mean, we can talk about something so devastatingly painful in our past, and then within a minute or two be laughing our heads off about something, either possibly about that past or about something coming up in our future or our current state. It's so healing. These are the best relationships I've ever had in my life. They're healthy, they have boundaries. I have boundaries for them in that I don't allow myself to go to a negative place with them. Where sometimes in the past, I have gone to negative places in my mind or in my heart with people that I had relationships with, like doubting or expectations or I don't want to say it, but jealousy. That was a big one that really destroys everything. It destroys every relationship. Jealousy does. So that's another reason why I want to get everybody off of the jealousy train. Don't be jealous of the narcissist. Don't be jealous of the new supply. It just destroys you. So just be happy with the things you have. See the blessings that are in your life. Anyway, it's all good stuff, you guys. And you're right. The narcissist was boring. Crystal says, oh, I'm sorry. Kathy, I know. Seriously, right? I guess my energy kept things interesting in the beginning. No wonder I was so depleted. It's true. You keep everything going. You keep the conversation going. You keep the excitement going. Yeah. So, let me see. There's some private conversations going on here, so I'm going to let that be. Let me see. I'm going to keep going forward some, you guys, to see what other comments. Kathy, okay, Crystal says, Kathy, that's probably a good thing. Seriously, at least they don't have that biological attachment to the narc. Oh, yeah, if they're not from the narc. Oh, Allison Krause. Kathy says, yes, I'm just a ghost in this house. Oh, I'll have to listen to that one. Thanks. Okay, Crystal says, escape. Where did you meet your new healthy friends? Okay. Yeah, I met my new healthy friends. Let me think, because there are different ones. I'm just trying to picture each of them and where I met them. Actually, because I spend so much time at church, I don't spend like every day at church or 3 or 4 days a week or anything like that at church. I volunteer there. So I've gotten, and not just volunteer, I joined a couple of different Bible studies. And from there, I met a few different, 3 different women. trying to think if there were more. I've met 3 different women who are now a part of my life, and we share a lot of the same trauma from our past. We share a lot of the same abuse from our past. So, there is a connection there. And then we're also, one of them happens to be a therapist. And I love sharing psychological analyses with her, because she verifies, and she also is kind of in the process of learning about narcissism as well. And she is like, wow, yeah, this has happened in her past. But then I also have another friend who had, I guess, minored in psychology. So she has a bit of that background too that she studied, and then her own experiences as well. So we've connected on those things. Another one, we don't necessarily have that in our background together, but we're still developing our friendship, and it's just kind of nice and relaxing. And we do things together, like physical things together. I do want to do more physical things with my friends, like biking or kayaking or climbing and yoga and swimming. I love swimming. So I think that also is good when you're able to do more than just sit and talk. I enjoyed sitting and talking, but I also enjoy going and doing. So far, I'm trying to think. Those are the ones. I have some friends who are in the neighborhood, and those are healthy as well. We don't spend a whole lot of time together, which is sad because you think, oh, well, you're in the neighborhood, you're neighbors. Actually, no, let me say that again. I do have a friend from the neighborhood that we are very close. We don't spend a ton of time together, but when we do get together, it's very sweet and it's very good. We don't go to the same church or anything like that. We're just, but I admire this person a lot. I respect her. Okay, this is why I wanted to take a break and think about all the people I've met. I have another really good friend of mine. We got together last week, so why am I not remembering her, right? But we got together over, gosh, how many years ago now? More than 7 years ago now. I think it's been 8 years. We met at a function at a convention or something like that. I can't remember exactly. But we just, something about her made me feel like, wow, I really want to get to know this person better. And I'm not sure, but I think she felt the same way about me. But at some point, we just started hanging out more. She started inviting me to other things that she was involved in, other groups, women's groups and whatnot. So I started going with her, and she, anyway, it's been really good. I I consider her my soul sister. And we're from such completely different backgrounds, and she had a completely different upbringing than I did, so different. And we kind of like butt heads over something once where, because she had such a loving upbringing, she couldn't understand what it was like when you grow up in an abusive environment. So her response to something where somebody was raised in an abusive environment was from the perspective of, well, she should just, not have that issue. And I'm like, well, she does have that issue because of this abuse. And we can have these disagreements, and we can be so different even in our upbringing. But because of my respect for her positivity and I guess she's also drawn to my positivity. And I see her as a very strong person, and who has overcome other things in her life. She may not have had a rough childhood, but she's had a rough turn in other ways. So I just admire how she picked herself up. And anyway, so here's the thing. People I meet, if I'm drawn to them, I'll ask if they want to get a cup of coffee. Sometimes they'll ask me if I want to go get a cup of coffee. And we just start to build our relationship after that. We start, trying to hang out more often, try to make it a regular thing. Oh, and there's another person who's come into my life kind of recently. Anyway, same type of thing. If I'm drawn to this person because I admire how they have survived and have overcome difficulties in their life, that really draws me to a person. And if they still have this kind heart, and they still have this positivity, and they still have this, um, I guess, love, inside of them, and I just see it. So that draws me to them. And we have a great time because we can laugh, unabashedly. Oh my gosh, I forgot about a couple of other friends I have from like 15, 20 years ago almost now. Whenever we get together, it's always like reconnecting with old best friends, and we have lots of good laughs. We do. We don't always see eye to eye politically. We don't always see eye to eye um, religiously. We don't always see eye to eye on a lot of things. But because I respect them, I respect where they've come from. I respect how far they've come. Anyway, it makes for a really good, healthy relationship. You guys, I kind of went on a long time on that. So I hope that helps you see like what healthy relationships can look like. Kathy says, I wish you were my neighbor, Crystal. Aw, that's so sweet. Aw, I know. See, you guys can even meet through here. You find out like you have a lot of things in common. Kathy says, I met a good lady friend at the antique shop. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, exactly. And that's where sometimes I'll meet people just even out shopping. It's so crazy. Crystal says, I've met new friends at divorce and separation meetups. One lady in particular, we clicked right away, and she was leaving a narc husband as well. The narc abuse connection is a strong one. It really is. That narc abuse connection, it is. Crystal says, I don't understand this. Me too, Kathy. I'll move into the narc's house. LOL. I don't understand that. Oh, I see. Because Kathy's neighbor is the narc. So Christy will, yeah, there you go, Crystal. Buy his house and move in there. Well, you guys, it has been an hour, a bit past an hour, and I appreciate you coming on here. I thank you for coming in. I'm sorry that I got started late. You will get to see my other video, and I'm going to keep that one out because the lesson in there has to do with a very effective, efficient tool that the narcissist uses. I hope that you'll comment on it because we need to share our experiences with narcissists so that we can help each other identify the manipulations and their tactics. So, and to educate each other. So God bless you guys. I hope that you have a great day and a great week. Let me see what Kathy says here. Last thing. You're not too far from me. I'm close to Canada. There you go. Okay, Crystal. Let me know if you guys move in next door. I'll come out and visit. Just kidding. So anyway, hope you guys have a great day. Blessings to you. I hope you have lots of healing and that you find hope and peace and joy through this healing process.